Good morning, traders. I hope you all survived that massive dump we had last night. It was actually a really interesting day of price action yesterday, and one where it really did highlight just how important risk management and knowing what trades to take is just, a really important lesson for a lot of people. It was a very weird day of price action. We had a lot of trades going on throughout the market yesterday in both directions, long and short. And some of them played out really, really nicely, and some of them, as we can see here, failed spectacularly. So it's like I said, one of those days where you really, again, like I keep saying, you don't want to be overexposed at these highs when we're coming into resistance. Don't overexpose yourself up here. Make sure you've got enough capital that if we do get a move down, that you can stay in the game. The longer you can stay in the game, the better a trader you'll become. So don't get yourself wrecked by these moves down. They do happen, and just protect yourself from that. So this move down that happened yesterday. Now, in the video I had uploaded yesterday morning, so the morning update that we had, I did say in that video that I was expecting volatility in the next day or two, and we certainly got that. So we didn't know at this stage whether this would be a move to the upside or a move down, but as soon as this area of support was lost, then that's when things started to look like, this is getting a bit shaky now, and this does probably tip that likelihood as this being like a big move down. And in whichever direction this went, I was expecting it like, okay, that's it, rotation back either into Bitcoin or a rotation out of everything. We did get that rotation out of everything. So alts hit hard, Bitcoin hit hard, Ethereum hit hard. Had a really nice bounce on a lot of these assets, but that is the way the market went, and this is actually since then traded really nicely. So what I'm gonna start off by just going over is just this little thing I was doing like right at the end of the stream yesterday. People asked me to wrap up of what I think is going to happen as the most likely option. So I did say this at the end of last night's stream when we were getting all this volatility. So I'll just play that quickly. Bitcoin comes up, fails, comes back down, gets support. I don't think that will be enough to change market structure. So I do think we eventually come down and sweep the lows before we look for higher prices. So that was my very quick analysis on Bitcoin. After that, I drew this little falling wedge. But this has happened, like this has played out so nicely. So I'm just going to remove this. But what we had was just a really typical what happens every time Bitcoin puts in a low and has a volatile move to the downside. You come back up, you test your what was previous support or what it was trying to hold as support. So we did have these wicks within this area. We knew just from knowing what Bitcoin does that this would probably fail on the first attempt. And at that point, I haven't moved this fib at all. So it's like it's very, very slightly off. So I think I had it drawn just a little bit lower than this as like an average. But you can see here that exactly what happened is that it has its bounce. First of all, it makes that first reaction low, and that becomes the area that you would expect to be tested. So people getting into longs initially off of the first little kind of reaction down. Then we get a bounce into resistance, and then straight into the golden pocket here, which is also lines up with those lows. So this is just perfect, so easy to trade. if you that's the thing, if you can survive these moves down, then you can trade these really nice bounces afterwards. And I think what the likelihood is today is that we're it looks like we're at this stage of the chart right now, and we'll just have to see what happens. I think we probably put in a bit of a range here. If it does come down and sweep the lows throughout the day, I think now that we're into the new day, this would be going more into US market territory and stuff like that. We'll have to see what other markets are doing to see what the strength is. But yeah, for now, I'd say just trade this as a range and see what happens. So I'm going to remove that from, or at least hide it from my chart. And just go over a little bit of what did happen yesterday as well. So I was making the video yesterday morning when we were just up at these highs, and we did have our support levels marked out lower down. So let me just find what we were looking at. So this is where the point where I had got into a long and was looking for this to then, this should have been the low. As soon as this then got lost, sentiment quickly started to change. So for me, this was the really important level, and this was the level that I was marking out on the video yesterday, where we had a lot of confluence within this area, any of which could have bounced the price. You can see we had this monthly VWAP and this previous day value area low below that. But yeah, for what we had going on and the divergences that this was forming, this really should have been the one that held. And as soon as it didn't, so that was here, and we did get that nice bounce off of it. But again, taking profits as soon as it hits this high and as soon as the move stalls. So what I say to everyone, as soon as this move starts to stall, you take your profit. Just take profit on that. And then if you get stopped, you get stopped. So as soon as then this came down and started to change or continue this market structure down, that's when really it started to look a lot more bearish for me. Now, I didn't trade this bounce, but what happened is we did get a really nice move up. So we got a really nice move up off of this bounce, but it came straight into, as we always see here, into our golden pocket before failing, coming down into our trend line support again. So at this point, I think this trapped a lot of traders up at the highs here, thinking, okay, yep, we finally changed market structure, let's come back down. And people started buying all the way down here. So then what happens is it creates the opposite of a short squeeze. All these people longing it, and aggression to the downside just keeps on squeezing those long traders that are up here. And eventually you come back down, it tries to hold support here and to get a bounce. And at this point we were on this trend line down here, so we did come into our previous day value area low and our VWAP, but that didn't get much of a reaction. And then here we go, we came right into this trend line. As soon as that was lost, this move down was inevitable at that point. So yeah, like I did say a couple of times during yesterday, I'd like it to take these lows, but when you see that this trend line's coming in and this is taken, it was so aggressive, this move down, then yeah, this was always quite likely. Yeah, so I think that's yeah, Bitcoin covered. Anything else I want to say on Bitcoin? No, just trade this range today. Do be aware that we could still come down lower. This was quite a big move down, and it was quite a decisive move down as well. You would expect this to get some follow through, because this was really that at this point here yesterday. This had to break either up strongly or down strongly, and I do think whichever direction this goes in, gets a little bit of follow through. Like this has come down pretty low, and we do have, yeah, we've kind of formed this trend line here going on. But yeah, we'll just have to see see what happens with that. I've cleaned my chart up a lot again today. We can see what areas of support we do have lower. So this came down into this daily level. Not the strongest daily level. There wasn't a lot of confluence here, but it has got a bounce off of that. And then you'd have to say, really, if we do start to break down further, then our really important support is down here at around 51,400 kind of area. So yeah, we'll see how this plays out. Yeah, a move down here would be pretty nasty for a lot of people, but it could happen. I think if we do get this move down, then again, like you have to almost adjust your bias then. Again, so let's say this move down does happen and we come into this area, then you'd have to then be looking at shorts like, yeah, kind of back where we are now. And this is when you start to form this longer downtrend. This is when this starts to come into play. I don't think I have any of this stuff left on my chart again, but if I do just go back over yesterday's stream, we were looking at what could happen to the downside. I don't know if I'll find it, to be honest. Okay, here we go. So we were looking at potential scenarios to the downside. Yeah, realistically, we could get this ABCD correction that does take us back down to the lows of the range. Yeah, so it's definitely possible. We kind of have formed this little channel now. But yeah, no need to panic yet. We will just trade this level by level as always, and yeah, we'll see what happens throughout the rest of the day and the rest of this week, and yeah, see what can happen here. Cool. I'm going to really just quickly go over Ethereum, but it's all doing the same stuff. Ethereum, it came up to that 420 level again. If you watched yesterday's video, yesterday's morning update, that was the level I was looking at. We did come up to that level. I did take a short on that level. I'll try and find it again. I'm going to do it. Where is my short? Because this was a really nice trade. There we go. So I got my short there at $4,201. And yeah, we've had a really nice move down from that point, which was a move of 13% to the downside. I did take profit on that long and I on that short, and got into a long after that. Litecoin. So did we close the day above that daily? And we closed right on it. Okay. So this is what I was looking at again on stream, is we wanted this daily close above, and we want to really continue getting these daily closes above. So we'll see what happens here on Litecoin. This is a really important area that it is in right now. So it had a nice bounce, and I think it just needs to hold around here. If we were to see more upside on Litecoin, I don't want to start seeing daily closes below here. Link came right into support, which was really nice again. So you had this weekly and golden pocket confluence of support. And on the US dollar, maybe I've removed my levels, but yeah, that was really nice on Link. And did we cover anything else yesterday on the stream? There was another one that had a really, really nice, yeah, we were going over Doge, weren't we? Whoops. and that had a really nice bounce as well. So I'd said after we had this first move down on Doge that if we did come back and test this 0.5, I'd be looking for longs. Which is what it did, isn't it? So yeah, that was nice. Yeah, so there are a lot of things that came to really nice support. So if you could trade the bounce on a lot of this stuff, then that was really, really good. BZRX was another interesting one. Came into this area of confluence down here. So we were looking at this as an area of support. So a lot of Bitcoin, Ethereum, like just about everything in the market right now has fallen down to pretty crucial support at this stage, and we'll just have to see what happens. Yeah, cool. So that'll be enough for today. As usual, if you are not already in the Discord group, please do come and join us. We've got a nice community of traders over there. The link is in the description below. We also have just set up a new website, so we will be updating this website every day. So this is for members, where you can subscribe on this website here. So yeah, again, the link for that will be in the description. And that will be enough. We're at 16 minutes long. I always want to do short videos and then I just end up talking forever. So I'm going to wrap it up there, and I will see everyone in the chat. Cheers, guys. Bye.